Just like that. So it's a touch of a button, and just letting you do your live. Hey, everybody, I'm gonna get this in. Just like that. So it's a touch of a button, and just letting you do your live. Let me see. Hey, everybody, I'm gonna get this. Touch of a button. So touch of a button, just letting you do, just letting you your live. Hey, everybody. Come on down, come on down, come on down, come on down. I'm trying to get this vertical thing to work. It's not, I don't know what to do right now, but we're going to get in here. Hello, it's Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. We just want to get in here and start talking about it's a lot this stuff going on, everybody. Oh, I know what's going on. This is over here on the YouTube. We're going to get in here. Hello, it's Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. Let me just want to get in here and start talking about. So let me go over to where I'm at for real, because that way I can hear and see what's going on. I can look at this page here and see you guys. I see you guys. Come on. Come on in. I figured we could talk today. Let's talk, everybody. Happy Sunday. Let's talk about what's been going on around the country. Do you think some of the things you're seeing is true? Do you think some things is karma? Do you believe the truth is gonna come out anyway? I mean, if you keep getting it caught up in too many of the same things, it could be true, everybody. It could be. So let's talk about that because I think this is a big deal. We tried to tell some people that something was coming because there was a publicity stunt that we believe that took place with our situation in California. And I'm not saying that if the judge wants to do something, they're not going to do it. They're going to do what they're going to do. But if it has to have some truthfulness to it, some meaning, and even anybody can understand the law and the truth now, then you let it go. But when you know what you know, there's something that's definitely not right, then you address it. Let me see something. Do what they're going to do. Okay. Just want to make sure the sound and all that's good because, it's a lot going on. So while I am talking, let me go here and click and see what stations we went to. That's what I need to know. Let me see that, y'all, because we're paying for this software. All right, so it did go to all the right places. All right. They got the doggone what you call it, right? The truth comes out. You can't stop it. That's what I wanted to talk about today. There was a video and a few things that came out. We're dealing with a lot of stuff with minors, people having relationships with minors for a long time. And now things are really coming out. And it's like, what do you guys think about all of this? There's a couple videos I was going to try to get here just for us to talk about it. And one article, Variety, I had a good article. Uh, Hold on, just let me type in what I need to type in. So a couple things are happening. If you start hanging around people and doing what you do, there's certain things that do come out. So I know for me, we were talking about some things dealing with my goddaughter, Wanda Satterwhite, and a lot of people had their opinion about what they had their opinion about. Some of the things that me and Ramirez going through, it has nothing to do with paternity, only part of it. Some of it had to do with adults misconduct, a court misconduct, where people were trying to hide stuff. But the question would remain is why? If there's a problem, whatever that might be, and that problem involves a minor, why would you not want to take care of that? Why would you not, for somebody who's a judge or an officer of the court or a lawyer, that's what an officer of the court is, why would you not want to take care of that? Well, one of the things I've been trying to tell people is that it has something to do with the color of your skin, unfortunately, and your gender, not gender, your gender. So at the end of the day, it can be an agenda that people have. But when you start talking, so we've been dealing with the minor stuff for a while. And quite frankly, they got to us about some of the conduct of the judges regarding that and other stuff in 2018. That's 7 years ago, 6 years ago. So my thing is, the discussion tonight is the truth will always come to the top. And you and I got to deal with that, whatever that might be. And it's always like people think you're trying to slam somebody down and take somebody down. Well, what about when people lie on you and have power through influence and status, so to speak, and money, where you can make things happen that are not real and truthful? Like a few weeks ago, there was 119K attorney fees floating around on low-end blogs. Didn't get to big ones. It didn't get to the CBS. It didn't get to the ABC. It didn't get to none of that. But the question was, why would a judge, in this case, a California judge, why would a judge who has a case on a stay or a pause decide to make a decision out of nowhere? So when it happened, I knew in my heart that something was coming. Now, I'm connected to people. I don't know everything, but I'm connected to people, right? I knew something was coming because whenever certain people want to distract or not you to look this way, look that way, you'll find somebody is the fall guy or fall woman, fall gal. And what happens a lot of times is that people is considered ordinary people. I don't consider myself small people. I'm just as good as anybody else. Money is not going to make me. Money just gives me more access to stuff. I'm going to be who I am right now. Right? I am. But the whole thing is, I always was wondering, I said, why are people doing such erroneous, egregious things that are considered to be lies in the law? How long you going to hold your nose for stuff that you know is not right? But at the end of the day, I found out that I felt like some of this was because of the color of your skin. Because for my case, the 119 came from a transaction, a real estate transaction. And this person wanted to let me know first they knew about it. And also, I'm going to show you what I can do. No, you're not. You're really not going to show nobody nothing. So at the end of the day, because we were pursuing our own rights, in this case, paternity rights, and it was rights of due process, didn't get neither. That was a problem. And some people, some attorneys and some judges had a problem with, but they made money off of it. Do you realize that the case that we had in New Jersey, somebody made a lot of money? A lot. The attorneys were one of them. But there were people with transcripts. I mean, this was a phony machine for real. Just because somebody doesn't know something or you are fighting against it doesn't make it not true. So at the end of the day, now you see some stuff happening in the news and people say, well, it's really not nothing. It's really not nothing. Well, it depends on who you ask. Because something, in our case, is something. And when you start mingling and tingling people, and when you talk about the young lady in Alabama who was 13, she might be coming back. Now, she might have dropped it against one person with prejudice, but there might be other avenues she can take. Because the point we're trying to make right now, everybody, is the truth will always come through. The truth, you can't stop it. And birds of a feather have always been flocking together. If you over here with this person, over here with this person, over here, and all of them got this thing in common, certain things in common. And in our case, was doing it before you got to certain platforms. So I'm just saying what I'm saying. I mean, y'all let me know. I'm looking in the chat. Let me know how you feel. You know, it's not just, and this is more to come. This is just the beginning. This is not just an email and somebody calling up a hotline. The young lady already came forth. Yeah, she did, y'all. She's doing what she has to do. When the time comes, they're going to reveal that. But there's people already who've come forth and did what they needed to do, which is why this is strategic and this is timely. I'm just telling you the truth now. So if the government and things happen, take a long time, but the truth can't be stopped. The truth can't be stopped. So yeah, I'm on here to talk about what I'm talking about, because I had said when they did what they did to me and my godson for the California case, I'll keep saying it over and over again, anti-SLAPP laws is not for fraud, period. And they were just looking at the documents, meaning the government, of what the California case had, what they got on the docket, what they have. Somebody's looking at it, right? And they're flabbergasted about what took place in the media circus. Oh, somebody got 119K. They got a 19K. Oh, da, 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 da. And the thing is, you put it back on a stay. We appealed it. So why did you do it in the first place? Because somebody wanted to distract. Somebody was looking to use scapegoats like myself and my godson as a means, and what we believe, to do your due over here. Don't look over here, everybody. Look over here. And it just so happens at the time, because all you got to do is be wise. Be wise. You can look and see what people are doing by you just looking and seeing. Let me see if I can change this. I like to change it. Let's see if that works. It might work. It's just weird to me. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think the truth prevails? It take a long time for it to come, but it does come. And it comes in pieces. And this piece that this here about somebody calling somewhere and whatever, whoever this person is, they'd already moved it along. I promise you that. So at the end of the day, vindication for some people is important because they need to be healed about whatever they've been through. And the choices that people make sometimes to satisfy their own pleasures, to be in some sort of witchcraft or seances or whatever you want to call it, because somebody needs to keep you under their palm. And you do whatever you got to do. This is why you need to talk to yourself. And I hope and pray as we continue to move along in this journey, we'll be able to get something out of this. But yeah, so here's an article here, one of thousands, and these are, variety is a very large one, very credible. And I think the reason why some of them are doing this is because they know there's more coming. Not so much as people talking about it, it's what other people saying that happened to them. That might be part of it. But some of the persons that are victims, when people are victims, let me just help y'all understand this. When you become a victim of something, and depending on how it affects you, you want to be healed. You want to come out of that thing. And sometimes it's easier to let it go and forget about it. And other times you've been called to walk it out. To walk it out. So that's a case for us, because let me tell you, so I had plenty of other things to do, and running after the case wasn't one of them. But I found myself in the judicial system, and I wanted it to work, and I believe it works. But I've seen a lot of nasty stuff, y'all. A lot of ugly stuff that I can't ignore. So at the end of the day, here we are with this situation and this circumstance, and it is what it is. I know people gonna have their opinion, and that's what we all here for. You can have it, right? So at the end of the day, you can't hide the truth. Thank you for coming in. It looks like it says, who knew you did it? Who knew did you? So I think that's what it is. I don't have my glasses on, and it's dark in here. I 100% agree. You can't hide the truth. Once it's done in the dark, it will always come to the light. And this is the truth. So I'm trying to get vindication for other people that's outside of my circle as well. Not with this case, but just in general. But biggest one is my goddaughter Wanda. And that's done a lot through her family and her son. which is the other reason why he had to pull out of California, not the primary reason. The primary reason for Ramir pulling out of California is because they were trying to clash our cases together. I had a family law case and he had a civil law. His civil law came out of my family. They wanted to get rid of him or get rid of me, and then they could take him down because his case has some complications to it by itself. But at the end of the day, the case from the family court was a core case, and people just want to write you off. They want to get rid of you because they didn't think they somebody, whatever. I got rights like everybody else. I live in this country like everybody. I don't have to have money to a certain degree to feel special and good about myself. I don't. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Don't have to. Would you like to have? Of course. My life has been good. I'm in retirement right now. I'm in transition right now. So there's things that have changed from my engineering days when I worked as an engineer, making good money. God took me off and put me in ministry. Somebody knows about that. So at the end of the day, I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. So I'm good. But at the end of the day, you go through transitions. But in the transition, the last 10, 14 years, I've been dealing with due process and people trying to avoid our day in court because of my goddaughter's age, because of the color of her skin. And they tried to try to do me the same way. I'm going to kick you out the court. I'm going to get rid of you because this is a person that's higher and status or whatever. And then he got a problem. And he's probably begging and saying, please help. No, please help the law say the law. Ain't no favors. You can't be doing that. And what's going to happen is you're going to get tied up with the devil and you're going to go down with him. That's what's happening. A lot of people are going down together, burning in hell together, sitting in the jail, going to hell and sitting in jail together. So your sins do find you out. It is what it is. And I'm not upset about anything. I'm not mad. I'm just saying what I'm saying about my own situation with my goddaughter as we're marching that situation along to try to get her justice because her son didn't get it. They just wanted to kick him to the curb like he was a throwaway child. Can you imagine that? You go into a court, you ask for a service. Okay, you say you don't have it or you can't do it. Okay, whatever. And then you tell the person why. I mean, my goodness. This is the world we've gotten ourselves in. All right, it says, are you able to share why the maternity case was dropped or clarify because the commentaries are saying he took the test and he wasn't the father and he isn't seen in the print anymore? No. The answer to your question is the reason why he dropped the case in California is because his case was a civil law case or inheritance case, Ramir. And his case was clashing with my case. Let me stop the share on this. His case was clashing with my case. And what they were trying to do is make the cases compete. But Ramir's case came out of my case. I started a family law case in 2012 after I got custody of him in 2011. At that time, 2011, the defendant, Mr. Carter, got Ramir's DNA back in 2011. So he got it then. In 2012, when they came into court to deal with the paternity, that's when the problem started. About I don't have properties, can't do this, and all this finagling crazy stuff that went on in the court. When we tried to cure some of those things, it didn't happen. But somehow the attorneys, in our opinion, became like kids in a candy store and milked that cow, honey. Talking about one of the attorneys was talking about vacations. But getting back to Ramir, no test was taken. There was going to be a voluntary, which we were told last summer. Folk was going to volunteer to be the daddy, quiet, no blood test, no nothing, and do whatever. That never happened because they were trying to use a backdoor way from a custody that belongs to me because I was the one that had custody of that child. When his mama got sick, I had him. And there was no other custody for a parent to do, because unless you take the test, we're not going to imagine it, whatever. Okay. But you can volunteer to be the father. But at any rate, that test, there was no test taken. And the reason why Ramir hasn't been on as much, because he's working. It started out with him, with his children, because he's got older kids, and trying to keep up with their Christmas and all that. And then he works 3 jobs, y'all. 3. So there's a lot. So he's going to be, I just take it from me. He's going to be on. Y'all just got to hold on, because he's not on. I think I was able to get him on a few weeks ago. If you looked at that little video I did, we just did a quick something just so people could see him. But yeah, the commentaries out there are what they are. That's why I try to get on at least once every week to keep you updated. We do have people helping us with public statements and things like that, because we're trying to make clarity. Sometimes it's a little bit technical when they make those statements, but nonetheless, we're trying to do that. So yeah, we believe we're going to prevail. So the thing is, there's 2 things to this case. The first thing is that we are fighting fraud. Fraud is like our main thing. There's no jurisdiction, and there was fraud, and then there was limited appearance, and then there was underage mother. You got 4 different things. Now, technically speaking, you can't deal with you can't have any litigation, a real one, outside of a motion hearing for fraud. When there's fraud involved, you got to deal with the fraud, because the fraud is not going to go away. I mean, the jurisdiction. Let me retract that. The jurisdiction. Now, the fraud does play a role in stopping other things from happening legitimately, but the first thing is jurisdiction. Now, the reason why we were doing fraud is because fraud happened right from the beginning, along with the jurisdiction defect. And when the fraud took place, we lost money. I lost money for what they call damages or attorney fees. And I wanted my money back then. Because you come into court, you say what you say. Now, some people say, well, if you don't have jurisdiction, you don't have jurisdiction. Well, that's the debate. The debate was jurisdiction on the personal jurisdiction or general side. Because the court has what they call a long arm statute in the family court, where they can take this arm and go and get you all the way in California. It's called long arm statute. So at the end of the day, there was other avenues we could have gotten, like the general jurisdiction, which is tied to personal, which allows you to do paternity without support, college support or anything like that, where you can get the paternity closure. And that's kind of what we were seeking, because we were looking for that in the very beginning, because it was all this chaos and confusion. But at the end of the day, that didn't happen. The court made a decision, and right away in 2012, they had no jurisdiction. So in order for me to get the damages for what they did in the very beginning, and coming in and making false statements, me losing attorney fees, blah, 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 the person said they don't have jurisdiction over me, not me, but the defendant, in this case, Mr. Carter, don't have jurisdiction over me, because I am doing limited appearance in the state of New Jersey, and I don't have properties here. That's what he said, basically. So we went where he was, which was California. First, we showed the court, oh yeah, he got properties. He had 6. We only gave the court 3. And I'm not going to go through all the details with that. The court would not do the due process. The due process is an evidentiary hearing, a discovery, something to see if this is true. And by the way, he would have had to, say if these properties are his or not. His name was right there. And we did all the due process. For people to think there was no due process as far as due diligence, let me retract, not due process, due diligence, and making sure the properties was his, y'all crazy. We had all the right people around us. We had attorneys off and on. All the obvious was done. So at some point in there, the judge was going to give me my money back. And I think I told y'all this. But he wanted a part of it. He wanted some of the money. He did. And I told him no. So at any rate, we went where the defendant was, and where the defendant was in California. It took a while because of different things that were happening. And I'm going to go through all that between some of the things that were dragging out and putting on a stay, the COVID. It was a lot of stuff that happened. And a lot of terrible, egregious things that certain people, like my godson, don't want to live over. Some of the people try to make the courtroom a nightmare and a place of terror. But at the end of the day, there's no fear here. And even when they did the 119K, are you kidding me? You really think that somebody's going to pay somebody else for fraud? And we know it's fraud? The attorneys in California is on a hot plate now. You are not going to be doing what you want because you can. And now you have this thing now with your clients, and not just him, but even your law firm has some things with human trafficking. If you do the research on some of these firms, they are worse than their clients. That's why they're together. I hate to say it, but it's true, y'all. Attorneys and law firms are not what they used to be. The credibility is really low. And some of the people that are working on it don't know what they're doing. Now, in my case here, what it looks like it happened in California is that some jealousy got in there. And not just the California, but some other ones. When you had property, and I had a couple properties, still got one left. Somebody got upset because we had made a profit off the property. And wanted to let me know we know what the number was. So what? What's your point? So you got a lot of sick people out here. You're working for maybe a rich client, but you live in an apartment. And you mad at somebody else because they have something over on your client because the truth came. You're in the wrong profession. So if you don't want the truth to prevail, then let it go. Let me stop. Let me see what else y'all talking about over here. Yeah. The other certain research, you got to do the research. Yeah, he's going to refile when the time comes, because you have a case that since Ramirez's case came out of my case, we have to deal with the fraud on my case in the jurisdiction. Now, in some cases, the judges might just use jurisdiction and just let it go from there. But they still can see when the time comes for discovery that the other misrepresentations of fraud it was there as well. But the crazy part about it is you file a package to the United States Courts of America saying they have limited appearance, they have limited appearance, meaning I contest jurisdiction, but yet and still, you're asking for all this stuff from that jurisdiction like New Jersey. New Jersey had a problem with the Attorney General. That's what we believe. The Attorney General, when the time finally came, it came out. He just said some stuff in documents that were untruthful. The Attorney General of New Jersey. So now it made sense why we were going to him, asking for help, begging for help about somebody coming to the home, somebody riding on the grass, somebody trying to shoot my godson. All this stuff we were coming to him about. And nothing got turned over. He was a gatekeeper, a legal one. And he was gatekeeping probably something he was pocketing. That's what I think. I don't know. I mean, I hope it ain't true. Something was going on. So at the end of the day, the whole thing is that people were asking me, why did the judges sign the orders? Because the judges were the ones who allowed this to happen. When the first judge said what he said, that was it. There were some trying to curing of it in between, but then that was only a couple times. All the other ones was the defendant's attorney coming into dragging us in court for nonsense because she wanted to make up stuff for money, manufacture things for money. And at the time, we didn't know. But one of the clerks and people were saying she's talking about, going on vacation. She's filing strategic times of the year. I mean, we didn't know. And at times we had attorneys, times we didn't. It was a person who had an opportunity to milk the cow, and they did. And that's one of the reasons why my godson don't really care about a lot of this stuff, but he knows he has to follow justice and do what's right in the eyes of the law. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm very thankful that things are happening the way they are. I like the way some of the persons have talked about what's happening out there. And I think that this is an opportunity to talk about it. To talk about, some people are asking for people to be stepping down and stepping aside and or finding out more information, because there is women and men in the wings. Better listen to me. They're both there. And they have allegations, and those allegations are coming. Some of them are already here. They just haven't come to the public. And you have this thing here where this young lady has made this report back in 2019. Looks like a 20, whatever year it was. It was long. It was a minute ago. But some of this stuff was going on for a long time. So I think for my goddaughter, she was just trying to get her son closure. She was not trying to do all other stuff. And we wasn't either. Me and Ramir became aware of some things some time ago, and he made a decision that he wanted to do what he wanted to do about it, and I supported that. And it just kind of evolved to this. And then we realized that, nobody cares about us, like it per se, in that certain arenas. We got to care about ourselves. And we got to protect ourselves. And if we're going to use all the tools in the toolkit, we're going to use them all. That's what it boiled down to be able to do that. So I was looking to see about some videos too. There was a lot of videos out there, and people have a lot to say about everything. You know how people just love to talk about whatever they're talking about. And I thought it was good to just be able to touch base and see what's going on out there. And that's why I said, let me just get on today and talk about it, because talking about some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff really, 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 really helps. And I just think it's good. So I thought this one video with Mrs. Downlow, Miss Lowdown, was good. She has stuff that she was talking about. Everybody's got these stories, some abuse they've been through, and it's sad. It's hurtful when people go through stuff and they can't seem to heal and move on. And then you have the Justice Department and people, not the Justice Department per se, but people in the court system, judicial system, I should say, who don't think you have rights. How dare you come here and say what happened to you? I mean, that I think is low down. And I think that's the kind of judges we got to get out. We got to get rid of these folk. We got to make sure they never, ever come back to our platforms again, because it's sick. So I wanted to look here and just look and see what they're talking about with these videos and talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hey, we talk about everything else. Let's talk about this.
Defend the accusers on the Epstein list. She came out to defend Jay-Z and Beyonce them and everybody that's been accused of stuff. Now, she was quiet as a mouse when the victims was coming out saying something. But now that the list is being put out here, she is going hard, y'all. Makes me wonder, was her brains in all that fat that she got rid of? I'm just asking y'all. Right. Was her brains in there? Yes, y'all. Miss Thing right here is getting dragged through the mud. Okay? Dragged on social media, everything now. They're coming at her with everything they got. Her TikTok, her IG, her fans is going crazy on her right now. And we're about to talk about it, okay, y'all? Hello and welcome to my channel.
So one of the reasons why people are angry is because, again, victims. You can't just ignore it. Now, some people I know won't tell the truth. I get it. But there's not everybody. And this is what I think y'all have to be careful of, that when you say what you say, you don't know everything, because you don't know, but you just got to be wise and be careful, right? Because you can boomerang some of that same bad energy back to yourself. Just gotta be careful, y'all.
Channel, please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. And thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you to my day ones, twos, and threes, and fours. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all, and welcome, welcome, welcome. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only, so everything is alleged, some is not, and the fair accuse is in my description box, y'all. So let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. Yeah, y'all, Lizzo. Out of all people, y'all, Miss Big Back Turn Whack, she is now defending the people that, is accused of doing all the most heinous things in Hollywood. She has came out to defend them. I can't believe what I'm hearing, y'all. I cannot believe what's coming out of her mouth, y'all. And this just goes to show y'all that a lot of people that put on pedestals all these years and make it think that they're something special and this and that and that and this, they're dumb as dirt, y'all. They're dumb as dirt. I just want you to listen to some of the stuff that she is saying. We're going to just analyze some of the things that she's saying while she's defending, y'all, Jay-Z and Beyonce now.
Right, going to glam. This Epstein file shit, I have to, it's really frustrating to me because there are 3 million files, right? 3 million documents in the files, because over the course of however long this man has been doing these crimes, every email, every text message, everything, just in general about this man's life, has been put into these files to scan for illegal activities, right?
As it should. As it should. First of all, you are the company that you keep. And all of these people ain't lying. Okay, let's keep going, y'all.
Every text message you sent to somebody. If you stole an apple from Walmart and you were on trial for stealing an apple from Walmart, is every person in your phone an accomplice?
Stealing an apple from Walmart is a big, big difference than a whole enterprise of people taking little ones against their will, or that's being sold, y'all. Because it's a lot of people that sell them. And don't act like it don't happen, because we done seen it in the hood, y'all. Okay? We done seen people smoking their kneecaps off in the hood that has little ones. Okay? We done seen this. That will try to, if they geekity geeking, offer their little one to pay off their debt.
Jesus.
We done seen stuff like this in the hood, y'all. So, are we to say that it doesn't happen with people with big, big money? Just think you around billionaires and millionaires. You think this don't happen in their neck of the woods? What do stealing an apple have to do with stealing bodies, y'all? And doing all type of stuff with them. Laying them on tables, putting apples, making them a part of the dessert, y'all. Is she stupid? Let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going.
Is every person in your phone, is every email you sent to a person or speaking about a person, or does that make that person complicit? Does that make that person a bad guy? No. No.
So I think the thing is with this is that the young lady who made the allegation, she said that when she woke up, they all were present. So in her mind, she believed that they had something to do with what they were doing, because she said that Mr. Weinstein had his finger in her body. So if that's true, and these other people are there, somebody might have been watching. I just want you all to know there's a lot of perversion in the industry, as y'all already know, and people like live porn. This is what Diddy's problem was, y'all. He liked to see it right in front of him. And I guess he was participating at times when he, whatever, especially with Cassie. But something, he liked live porn. He wanted to see it. So I think this is the problem with all the sickies out there doing what they're doing. So we're going to skip some of this. I know that everybody's entitled to her opinion, but her analogy is not so great. So I think the biggest thing is that don't forget the victims. That's the biggest thing. So now the question is, who did what? Now, do y'all not know that they did this? Somebody did this strategically, because the young lady that's involved is already pursuing things. Y'all got to hear this. That's why they dropped it. And Mr. Carter knows. He knows what's going on. He'll know before y'all know. Because whenever you are a subject of a criminal case, they inform you. Now, it could be civil, too. And I'm just saying what I'm saying. This is my understanding of what's happening. So I believe the young lady is already doing what she's doing. And that's why this stuff was dropped. Everything they do is strategic. Them too. People do stuff strategic. And like I said, when I went through somebody trying to discredit me for going to California to get what I know was my rightful thing to get, because I had damages from an action of a person called a tort claim, and you want to flip the script and do other stuff to maneuver the situation. But yeah, you didn't sign the order, but somebody put something out to get it, so you can try to take me down. And then now, a few weeks later, look what's going on. You knew something was coming. That I believe, because I had discerned that back then. I said, something's coming, because why would they need to go through this right now? If I'm in the middle of another case in another court and putting this one's on a pause, and California's on a pause, why are you worrying about it now while I'm over here doing something else? So I knew something was up. But at any rate, we'll listen to a little bit more. But it's a few other ones that I think you might be interested in hearing. But let me know in the comments. You've got any comments? Any comments? Any comments? When people do something like this, and somebody says what they says, and then you're waking up to see this person, and you thinking what you're thinking, you are complicit. You are a part of it. This is why I tell my godsons and other people, make sure you don't stick around for certain kinds of people. You go in, you come out. Don't stay, because you'll be in trouble.
Overlook all of that because Diddy threw a couple of birthday parties? There are actual victims coming out that were laying on those tables. There are victims that's coming out was scared out of their mind because this man allegedly he got bodies, y'all. Not only do he got bodies, but allegedly his business partners would show up occasionally and take care of some stuff for him. He said it out of his own mouth that Jay-Z was his cleanup man. If he couldn't handle something, Jay-Z handled it for him. What world is this woman right here living in, y'all? Ask yourself this question. What world is she living in? Does she not know who Jay-Z is? Mr. Aleister Crowley follower. Okay, y'all? This is who Jay-Z is. Mr. Do As Thou Will. Does she just want to just ignore the fact that the things that this guy been out here doing for years and what he represents?
Do not pay your next car insurance bill. Repeat, do not pay your bill yet. So I found this.
Forgot about the commercial.
Being a satanic person is different than any other person out here. Just because you're a satanic person and you throw a couple of, parties that don't nothing go down in, and you think he didn't know to throw certain parties for some people, he figured people out in the industry. He figured people out if they were down for stuff or if they wasn't. If they wasn't down for the, the after parties, he would invite them to other parties so that he would have some people that would say, I went to a Diddy party and none of that happened. That's what he wanted. People to come forth and say, I was around him and that didn't happen, because he didn't trust you. That's why. He didn't trust that his secret would stay a secret. And he didn't trust that if he told you, he might have to get rid of you. So he just backed off and let you came to some of them other parties. He didn't let you come to them other parties where they got down and dirty at, which was the people that was on those lists. Okay, y'all? I don't get it. I do not get it whatsoever. But this is what Lizzo is coming out saying right now. Listen to her.
I had Super Bowl parties. I had Christmas parties, Halloween parties, regular parties. And so now they're saying Mom Donnie's mom, who's a filmmaker, they're like, oh, she's on the Epstein list because she was on a guest list for Ghislaine Maxwell's showing of a political film once. Hey, hey, hey.
Knock on your head.
You're
Hey.
distracted. You just want Mom Donnie to be a bad guy or his mom. A girl can go to a movie premiere. You think Ghislaine Maxwell woke up every single day trafficking children?
So she said, do you think this woman woke up every day, trafficked to the king?
Like trafficking children. If you woke up one day trafficking to the children, that's a problem. She might not woke up every day doing it, but she did some days doing it, and that still was bad.
Little ones. So does it make it right that she woke up only 3 days out of a week and she trafficked to the king, little ones? And the other 4 days she did regular work? Does that make it right, y'all?
No, it doesn't.
This is how dumb these celebrities are. And these are the ones that they put on a pedestal, they put in position to make money. Because when you have these dumb ones up there on the top, and they got all these followers because they like their music, and this is where a lot of people fall short at. Because somebody likes somebody's music, they figure that they wouldn't do nothing like that. They wouldn't be a part of nothing like that. They wouldn't steer me in the wrong way like that because they got beautiful voice. They this, they that, they that. There's been rumors for years that Satan used music. He uses music. This is one of his tools. Just like the Pied Piper, just it gets the kids to follow him and this and that and that and that. Satan uses music, y'all. This is why this is so, embedded in Hollywood, in the rap music, in the rock and roll music, in a lot of the music that's being put out here. So it can lead people astray, y'all. Y'all, I don't get it. People are dumb out here in these streets. They are really stupid. And these celebrities are the dumbest of them all, okay? They're the dumbest of them all. Some of them, and now you see why people like her and Tiana Taylor, that's all over the place. Beyonce gave me advice. Who in the world can Beyonce give advice to? She married a man that cheated on her ever since from day one. And they say he's still cheating on her now. Word on the street, I don't know him, be around him. But who wants to get advice from Beyonce, y'all? Beyonce, man, her husband is running around here dodging a paternity test that he has been dodging for years, over 10 years
I didn't know she was going to say this.
10 years.
Yep.
Why she ain't coming out saying nothing about this? Miss Lizzo? Why you ain't coming out saying nothing about how this man is dodging a DNA test? If you don't have nothing to say about, some serious matters like this, then don't come out and say something against the victims as if they're lying on these people.
Exactly.
It ain't just, little ones coming out, people, disabled people are coming out saying that they were raped and strawberry by this man and Diddy when they were 1 to 3 years old. This man right here has been going from court to court to court to court trying to get a DNA test, Lizzo. And they won't give it to him because he's scared he's going to go to jail for messing with people that wasn't of age. What do you have to say about that?
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it.
I didn't know.
Base 44.
I didn't know she was going to bring up my godson, but I'm so glad because that's part of the reason why I kind of got on, because I knew that everybody's starting to connect the dots. You're trying to bring it together and it's starting to make sense. That you have somebody that's been doing what they're doing for the wrong reasons in different places around the country or the world. When something like this happens, when news gets out from a Department of Justice level, whether you think it's a little bit or a lot, you should know, if you're smart enough, and I think you pretty are, that there's stuff behind the scenes that we're not talking about. They're not talking about. They're not just coming out just doing stuff. They're coming out and laying a foundation. I'm just telling you how they work. And he kind of knows this game too, because his PR people try to do the same thing. They're just not at the same level as the Department of Justice. So you have very credible blogs who are talking about it. And believe me, they wouldn't be talking about it like Variety and other ones. And I think there was the New York Post, so forth and so on. And I know the Shade Room, they had something out, and then they said the Shade Room shaded out. But at the end of the day, there might be, because there's some relationships there between people. And why would you need to have somebody take it out if it's not really a big deal? I mean, I do get about publicity and your reputation. I get that part. But if you got pretty much the whole world talking about it now, what's 3 blogs going to do? That's going to change. So I did not know she was going to talk about my godson, but I'm glad she did. So this is the first time I'm listening to it too. So I'm glad I listened to most of it.
Y'all, they handing her Asika right now, y'all. This is all I can say. They are handing her tail right now. They're all over her social media. Girl, this is what one of the people in her comment section says. Girl, I know you're not trying to defend Jay-Z. She didn't put a target on her back, whereas everybody was cool with her at first. They were listening to her. They liked her music. Why are these celebrities getting their own self canceled? They are risking their own careers over Jay-Z and Beyonce and P. Diddy, and neither one of these people care about the people that's defending them. Look at all the people they done dogged and did wrong. They're artists, everybody. And you got dumb people. I have to just say it, my personal opinion. Because the what she's doing is dumb. That you will risk your career. You will risk getting canceled. And everybody coming at you full force now. Because of what you're out here saying and pushing. And forget what the victims are saying. We got victims that wasn't on that up to the Stein list. Exactly. They have came forward and said that this man have done things that he wasn't supposed to do. And this is what she came out her mouth to say, to defend this man. Girl, make it make sense that you want to mess up your career over Jay-Z and Beyonce and them ain't cared about never nobody. Let's hear a little bit more.
No. We're losing the plot. And it's just like the American people in comments. I knew she was wrong. Jay-Z, I knew he was. What did it say Jay-Z did? He was there in 1996.
She said, what did they say Jay-Z did? He was there in 1996.
And I'm glad she brought that up. Ramir was conceived in 1992, just so y'all can know the time frame. 1992, Ramir was conceived. He was born in 1993. And they're saying this young lady said 1996, but there was another one that had 2017. So, and then they sent us this, I guess the Department of Justice sent us something in 2018 about the judges and all this stuff too. So there's a lot been going on, y'all.
The girl says she woke up to Harvey and Jay-Z. One of them had their fingers in either the back door or the cootie cat. Okay, y'all? And Jay-Z was in the room. Another victim says that Jay-Z and P. Diddy graped and strawberried her when she was 1 to 3 years old.
Yeah.
And a security or somebody on their team brought her to the table saying that she was somebody that they would be looking for. Y'all.
That's the sound of an American oil company hard at work. Want to be a part of it?
Questions or
Listen up.
comments, put it in the chat.
Hello.
We can talk about it. Let's talk
It's
about
a
it.
reason. And I told y'all this. Snakes like this don't trust anybody. You have to prove your worth. Jay-Z proved his worth over and over and over again. And just like Jaguar said, he's worse than Diddy. I believe he is, y'all. I believe he is. And the reason why I say that is because if Diddy get in a bind and he can't handle something, for him to go to Jay-Z shows you who had the upper hand in that whole friendship, whatever relationship, whatever they had going on. Because we got to think about this too. The reason why Jay-Z was so open to P. Diddy, who was the backdoor wrangler of hip-hop, he was around that all his life. Let's not forget Jay-Z's mother married a woman. Her inner circle was sweating skittlers, okay, y'all? This is why he was so drawn to P. Diddy. I wouldn't even be surprised if some of Jay-Z mama friends and her mama and them didn't come to some of them parties. I wouldn't be surprised if I heard that next. Y'all, let me get to another video. We got so many things to talk about today. It don't make no sense. And I'm going to have to get some other channel over there too. So I have to go over there as well today. But y'all, this is ridiculous. We got, like I said, whack big backs, okay? Running around here defending them. She's saying, what did he do? What are they saying he did? Is she, y'all almost made me say it. Is she serious? She said, what are they saying that Jay-Z did? This is what she just said.
Come on, people. Like, y'all are falling for it. It's the easiest, oldest trick in the book. And honestly, I'm losing faith in the average intelligence of the American person.
I hope she's saying that while she's looking in the mirror. That's all I can say, y'all. That's all I can say. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Look at these people, what they're posting on her accounts. Not only that, they're saying that she put her TikTok account in private. Why did you go private in TikTok, babe? Right after speaking about Jay-Z. It's hard to concentrate, Lizzo, but great message. Thanks, Lizzo. Some people say, and everybody's putting up, other people putting up clowns. She's a clown. This is what her career is going to now for defending the accusers. Y'all.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
We're talking about little ones. We're talking about people that parents were, and a lot of people ain't just smoking their kneecaps off when they giving away their little ones. Some people is in this secret society mess, and this is what they have to do to be a part of this. We saw this in movies and stuff like that. So many movies out here.
Yeah, hold your kids close.
That show things like this happening, but they like to put stuff right in your face. They love to put stuff right in your face. There are millions of little ones coming up missing yearly, y'all. Are they missing, or are a lot of these parents giving them to people? Ask yourself this question, y'all. Are they missing, or are they being sacrificed to the feist? A lot of them.
Jesus.
For sick people that's running around with basically cults, y'all. And a lot of people don't believe in this stuff, but it's true, y'all. It is so true. It's some sick people out here. And they feel like they have to copy off a lot of stuff that God did, okay? God sacrificed his child, okay? For the world. For the wrongdoings, okay? So a lot of these demonic people feel like they have to make sacrifices to Satan. To Satan, y'all. This is what they believe in. And they're sick individuals, and they get off on nasty, just stuff that's over the top that they're doing to these people that they take against their will before they get rid of them. Some of them they keep around.
It's sick.
So some of them they just do them dirty till they pass away. It's a cruel world we're living in. And somebody better knock on Lizzo's head and see if something is in there. Shake her a little bit. Shake her. Just see if something rattling in that head of hers. Because it's some screws missing. I'm telling y'all. There is. They're missing.
Let's go over here.
Some moms want to build income from
video
home. They just don't want to post, pitch, or be online all the time.
Blocker that I use.
So, panic control. Is Jay-Z panicking over what has happened over the past 24 hours because respectable or not respectable articles have been taken down? suddenly in regards to all of this. Hey guys, that's Murad Murali. Daily and consistent content. Do subscribe to the channel, guys. Comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It's just one click to subscribe. That's all you guys need to do. And let's get straight into this video, where it's been announced, guys, that plenty of articles have actually come down since the discussion. And one of those examples, guys, is the Shade Room. They were the first few, alongside Neighborhood Talk, when it comes to the blogs to discuss what's going on with Jay-Z and the fact that he's been mentioned in this. They've not said anything outside of removing their posts. And then on top of that, New York Post also have removed their extraction. They've completely extracted it from their website. It's not there anymore. And so my question is, why have these three guys suddenly decided to remove themselves from the Jay-Z conversation? Why have they decided to? I feel like somebody's given them the call. I don't even believe that Breakfast Club have kind of touched this conversation. The only way that they've touched it is by stating that this probably is not credible. It's a tip line. Yes, we know that this is the tip line. It doesn't mean that everything on the tip line is 100% accurate, but it's on the tip line. And so therefore it's part of the Department of Justice files that has been released. So therefore it can be discussed. And then when you put forward the conversation of, oh, it's a tip line, immediately when this responds, you're then responding to this conversation by stating that, well, you know, should we believe all victims? Well, we don't really know. And that in itself is a very dangerous territory to be in, because if this would happen to you, one could ask, well, you know, you're giving a tip, you're making a statement, why should we believe you? When you have this conversation of this is the tip line, anybody can say anything to the FBI, and it's unclassified and we don't know if it's true, and you present that forward stronger, that's your strong argument, you also are putting forward the notion of should we believe all victims, because people can just cry wolf, which is just a dangerous territory to be in. We can admit that this is a tip line. The Department of Justice have decided to drop this, and that is it. We should believe the person that has come forward with these claims and wait until time tells us. It's really that simple. That is what you can report on, because it's not like this is an edited page that has gone viral or AI that's gone viral. This is something that's from the Department of Justice website. That's all you really need to say about it. So I don't understand why so many people have been quick to say it's a tip line, this is fake news. Or so many people have been saying that, well, in 1996, you know, he wasn't really that famous. Well, in 1998, the man was at P. Diddy's party with Weinstein. They both didn't go together, but they were both at the party together. So how is he, you know, on the streets selling CDs in 1996, but in 1998, the man's at Diddy's party? It doesn't make any sense. So I think that there is panic control going on via Jay-Z's side, especially with the Grammys, I believe, tonight, and the Super Bowl next week. He obviously wants, you know, a pure good reputation going into these, because I feel like he wants to please the advertisers. He wants to please NFL, doesn't want to cause any more problems for them. So therefore, he's going to call his contacts, and the lawyers of Rock Nation are going to call their contacts to say either A, we have friends at these places, let's call them to take the articles down, or B, we're going to come for you and sue you, and basically try to intimidate and threaten them with a private legal letter, something of the two, or potentially a cease and desist, something like this, I don't know, in order of a way of to show that we can use some, exert our control. We're panicking about this. We don't know what to do. We're obviously very scared. This is the conversation that I think is definitely at hand here when it comes to what is going on with Jay-Z and why he is in his feelings and definitely panicking. I'll give you a...
And I'm going to say this, and it's just going to get worse. Like we said, the truth can't be stopped. And see, while I'm going to sign out, my family could have been part of this human trafficking, children trafficking, losing my parents when I was 11 years old. Lost both of them through a tragedy. So at the end of the day, when they came to do what they was going to do, the social services, my aunt came, thank God, and didn't let them take us anywhere. I was probably, I was 11. So I'm just saying what I'm saying, that we, my brothers and sisters and I, could have been a victim of trafficking. And that, I think that's one of the reasons why God has me back doing stuff to help people who might have been considered to be throwaways. But it's all good. At the end of the day, I just wanted to come on and do a Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil and talking about just what we needed to talk about, just to talk, just to get input. You can ask questions. You can get it from the horse's mouth. You can know what we feel, how we feel. And I've been trying to explain the two things that's going on in our lives now. I'll try to do a little bit with each video so you can know that we have to take things in increments and in steps because you're dealing with jurisdiction problems, defects. You're dealing with fraud. You're dealing with somebody saying limited appearance. You're dealing with an underage girl. And sometimes some of the stuff overlaps and sometimes it doesn't. Most of the stuff overlaps. All of it does, really. But at the end of the day, at the point we're at now, because it happened, some things happened with the jurisdiction issue regarding my property where I was living at, y'all, in New Jersey. Folks just want to take their misrepresentation all the way as if you had some right. But you didn't even have a right because the premise wasn't there and then the allegations were not there. You try to change stuff into a gag order and make it look like somebody can't talk. I mean, a whole lot of nonsense because we don't know, we're not supposed to know how to read. But at the end of the day, I'm not going down that road right now. I just wanted to come on and get you guys updated on just a few things with what's going on to get your input. And thankfully, knowing how God is still moving in the earth, because God ain't going to be mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he reap. So you better, we better, you better, everybody better do better. But I'm going to be praying for the victims and the people that is coming forth. And believe me, there's more to come. It's not just a news article. There's people behind it. So thank God for all of you. This is Keeping It Real with Dr.